Hi folks, Vipin here. Been a while since I made videos, and going forward I'll hopefully not be a lazy bum, and I will continue to make more videos on various general awareness topics. Now, today we'll talk about the perils of online retail in India. Now, when I say perils, I mean the problems that online retail actually comes across. Now, there are many problems that they actually have, but that's not really spoken about openly. But if you were to look into, if you do a little bit of analysis, you will actually discover these problems yourself. Now, before I get to them, let me explain a little about the reason why you have so many companies in India doing online retail. Now, the latest one to do something innovative in this field would be Flipkart. I'm sure you'd have come across advertisements on their website wherein they are coming out with subscriptions. So if you were to avail the subscription, it's paid for, you're able to get benefits like one-day delivery. You're able to get, there is no minimum amount that you need to buy in order to get the product delivered to your home free of cost and things like that. So this is some of the benefits that they have introduced, and that according to me is quite innovative. And of late you've noticed that there have been many new players who are coming out into online retail in India. Amazon, which is the biggest online retailer in the world, even these guys have started to use India as their platform for selling their products. Now, you have Flipkart, you have Myntra, you have Snapdeal, all these guys are there. Now, why are these guys doing it? Why is everyone wanting to take up online retail? Mostly because the potential is huge. Now, when I say potential, if you see the population of this country, it's well over a billion. Well over a billion. And the number of people who have internet access, I mean, only those with internet access can actually use online retail. The number of people with internet access is just about 10 million. Now, with such little penetration, you can see how much more opportunities will be there if more and more people are able to access the internet. That's what these guys are looking out for. They know very well that, okay, right now it's not a very big market, but over the years, it's certainly going to pick up. If you remember, in the mid 1990s and the late 1990s, there was hardly anyone in India who owned a cell phone. Now, India has become the second largest market for a cell phone. The people who are in online retail believe the same. They know that now, okay, the number of people with internet connectivity is less, but over the years, this is definitely going to pick up. And that's what these guys are actually looking out for. They want that larger number of people to start using the internet, and when they start using the internet, there is greater potential of them buying a product from, say, Snapdeal, Myntra, or Amazon, or even Flipkart. That's what these guys are looking out for in the long run. Now, how do these guys end up getting funding? Now, venture capitalists invest a huge amount of money in these businesses. The reason they invest a huge amount of money in these businesses is because they will know that, okay, later on you're going to get a very good rate of return in the long term. Now, Flipkart has raised $200 million last year. Sometime around July last year, they managed to raise 200 million. Flipkart has received well over $1 billion in their total funding, or rather their entire funding package is a little over $1 billion. So this is the amount of money these guys are getting. Snapdeal is almost on par with Flipkart. All these guys are getting a huge deal of money from venture capitalists, and venture capitalists invest in them because they feel that these institutions are going to make very good profits in the long term. Now, so much money is coming. Where does it go? I mean, $200 million from Flipkart is a lot. So where does the money actually go? So this is a good way to actually talk about where the money actually goes. Mostly operating cost. Now, operating cost means how much ever money it will cost you in order to make the product and have it delivered to the customer. Now, a company like Flipkart must buy the product from the manufacturer. Buying the product will cost him. And of course, once the product has been bought, there will be a lot of technical details when it comes to processing the order, all that. Even that is included in the operating cost. And of course, the delivery cost as well once the consumer has actually placed an order. This is what they mean when it comes to operating cost. There are many parameters that include operating cost, and that's what makes the businesses so expensive. Now, although being a service industry, they don't really have to invest a large amount of money in terms of fixed capital. But even though they don't have to invest in a lot of land, building, all that, they are able to spend a large amount of money in something like operating cost. Now, what happens next? Why does it actually get more and more difficult for them to manage their operations in the long term? Now look at that. I've given you an example of buying a book. Okay, Flipkart has got a book whose MRP is 500, and now they want to sell this book at a price of say 400. Now let's assume that Flipkart makes a profit of 100 rupees by the sale of this book. If you sell it at 500, you make a profit of 100. But now you're selling it at 400. Okay, now you're selling it at 400. So there, the potential profit you could have made is actually lost. Okay, the potential profit you could have made is actually lost. So there, they've actually experienced a loss of 100 rupees. Then, the next thing that they do is, let's say they go about selling a stove, an induction stove. The induction stove is sold at 2000 rupees. No discounts is being given to the consumer, and Flipkart is able to get a profit of 200 rupees from the sale of that stove. Now, the net profit that these guys have made is 200 rupees minus the 100 rupees that they have lost in the sale of that book, which gives them the total profit of 100. Now, this is not how most companies operate. Now, if you look at Tata Jaguar versus Tata Motors, Tata Motors is doing quite well, but Tata Jaguar is not doing so well. But that doesn't mean the profits made from Tata Motors is going to be transferred to the losses which is there in Tata Jaguar. That's not the way in which you're supposed to do management of cost. Now, every business, there is something called as a cost center. You don't mix and match the cost center. Now, for example, the cost center of books, the sale of books, is entirely different from the cost center of home appliances. So you really don't mix and match. But that's something what these institutions are actually doing. And over a course of time, this is what makes their cost management so difficult. If you remember when Flipkart came out big, they said, buy whatever you want, we're not going to charge you anything for the delivery. Now they've made it a minimum of 500 rupees for delivery. And I've noticed that some products, even though it's well above the 500 margin, they still end up charging you a delivery charge for that. Now that's how they're able to manage their cost. And I've not included there the total profit minus the delivery charge that is actually taken into consideration. And also the time value of money I've not considered. I say time value of money because when you talk about cash on delivery, you are paying on a future date. You might have bought a product today, but you're paying for the product about say 4 or 5 days from now. So the person who's supposed to receive the cash is going to get a delayed payment. And if you know the concept of time value of money, it says money received on a future date has certainly got lesser value than money received on a present day, that is today. So this is how their money actually is being spent. And believe me, they're burning through cash very, very rapidly. So what happens if they are not able to make a profit? There is a Kannada slogan where a Kannada slang rather, where we use wherein say chomhidi. It just means that you are screwed. If you're not able to make a profit, then yes, you will have to shut down your business in the long term. And if you notice, the number of players in the online market, not everyone is able to make a profit there. As far as I've heard, Flipkart has not really made a profit till date. And these guys are selling thousands of units of products in a day. You might wonder, even though you're selling thousands of units per day, what's the big deal? Why aren't you able to make a profit? The answer to that goes back here. You are mixing and matching your cost centers, and that won't really work out in the long run when you do it. Your volume of sales might be high, but the amount of cash you're receiving from these sales is not that great. That's where these guys are losing out. So this is in fact some of the problems of online retail. I hope you found this video helpful. I write a lot of articles on a variety of general awareness topics on my website, www.vipinmks.com. I've made the link available in the description below. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Bye.